the power of the Chevy down, and also Des Gibbs in the Mustang, and spare sympathetic thoughts for David Clement and Frank Dartell.
Flag is up for the Appendix J race. They're racing. Hey, 64 gets off. Running like Smokey there on the outside, and David Clement up quickly on the inside with the big V8. Gibbs making a big move up into second place on the outside of Clement, who's got back from the inside to about sixth spot.
Yes, he's lost right out, hasn't he, in the start? He's losing out there, trying to get back up to third again.
He's got the right line through the corner.
Yeah.
He's got Greg Topper leaning on the outside of him, but he'll hold on there. And he gets right up on the tail of Des Gibbs, but it's Peter Hopwood just swanning the tail of the big Chevy a little bit, like a rather lazy windscreen wiper as he comes around the corner. A flock of minis in the middle of the field. There's John Tessarera in the Vauxhall. If you thought Vauxhalls didn't race in Australia, you haven't thought about the 1960 Armstrong 500, the event that really gave a start to the James Hardy 1000, which was won by a Vauxhall driven by Frank Code and John Roxburgh. Haven't raced much since, but still there's a Vauxhall in this race. And in the meantime, the man leading the race is that fella, Peter Hopwood, surrounded by a Chevy Impala.
Through Camalco corner, straight away 22 foot wide. Whoa. And it's 21 foot wide. The Horde of Minis, Cortinas, Vauxhalls, Holdens, all go beneath our camera position and head off up Bitchafave Hill. Plenty of, there's a flag waving, there's a lot of overtaking and repassing, of course. Des Gibbs, though, has closed up right on the tail, and that's 15 foot of it, of the Chevy Impala of Peter Hopwood. And trying to find a safe bit of ground to pass is going to be the next problem.
We're only showing you two cars because there's no room for any other. Well, Des Gibbs must be wondering how he's going to get by. His car would be more nimble than the big Chevy, but Peter Hopwood knows his way around here. He's driven all sorts of cars. Des Gibbs, though, one would imagine in the Mustang to be the man who should get in front, but there's not much track left.
And desperate to go behind them too for third spot between Topfer and the little Mini of David Clement, going through Winfield side by side. Mini's got the line and he sneaks back to third again. Real scrap.
On the inside, number one, David Clement, was the pole sitter for the race. In the tighter corners particularly, Peter Hopwood has certainly kept very busy at the steering wheel.
Yes. He has two rev counters, one for the engine and one for the steering wheel. And spare a thought for David Clement, the driver of a Mini in a race like this knows he's going to lose the start and then has to try and cut his way through the field. And he's got some big cars to cut through. Greg Topfer following him in the edge holder and doing some marvellous things in that car. Can't quite keep up with Clement's little Mini going round those bends, but doesn't lose too much ground and will be a bit quicker going down through Mazda here. Gives it a big squirt. Puts the back wheel slightly up onto the edge of the track. Here's Clement. Locks up a back brake. He's been watching the Alpha Suds. Well, looks like Brian Foley of, 10, 15 years ago. Head slightly bent as he goes around the corner. There's a great name for the Mini racing. You know, in case you think this is a funny category and these fellas are playing, when you look at the times that they do in these cars, you might get a surprise. Jim McEwen, one of the great drivers of saloon cars of this era, is running in Victoria at Sandown in a week or so's time. And he went driving, because he's going to run this sort of race, in a Lotus Cortina, and found to his astonishment that the cars he's up against are driving quicker around Sandown than he used to go in the days when he was winning races. So these fellas are going faster than the Beachies and, the Beachies and the Foleys and the others of that age, way back, 15, 18 years ago.
Lap and a half to go, and the pressure's really on Hoppy now up front. Tail getting out a little more than usual in the big Chevy Impala. Gibbs pushing hard.
Yes, Gibbs, of course, comes from Wagga. He's a sign writer by trade. Yeah, plenty to keep him busy in this race, trying to find a path on the inside of Peter Hopwood as they come down, with, of course, time running out in the Appendix J race. But Gibbs closes up again on Peter Hopwood in the Chevy Impala. Gets the car, try to point it straight and keep it straight coming out of that corner so it doesn't rebound back onto the concrete. They come on to the finishing straight now to take the signal with, one lap to go. A little tail happy that time. It obviously out accelerates top of the hill. It's fairly close now, though.
Just coming out of Winfield, there's been a scrap. Greg Topfer is one of those that's gone off. Another car, another EH Holden, they're also off. No damage done, other than the fact they're out of the race. Hopwood, meantime, clinging desperately to the lead on the last lap.
Gibbs is well placed. He's in a perfect position for passing. He's just got to find the place and the room to get by. He goes quickly down here, so does Peter Hopwood.
Peter Hopwood, we mentioned, is a cinematographer and also likes ocean yacht racing. He used to wallowing around.
Hopwood's time, by the way, the last lap was 64.6. Under race conditions in a car like that, on a circuit like this.
Coming down into the last corner, Gibbs starting to close up. One short straight, then the sprint to the checkered flag. Peter Hopwood comes out of the bottom corner, heading towards Camalco corner. And for the cinematographer, it's not going to be a photo finish as Hopwood takes the wins. Second place is going to go to Des Gibbs, and it looks like David Clement may have even outlasted some of the other cars.